Buyers know there's no such thing as the perfect house. It doesn't exist. You're not going to walk into a house, a community, an area, and everything, it's like the yellow brick road and you just walked in and it's perfect. So you decided you're retiring, you're moving to Florida, you're going to have a palm tree in your front yard. You're really stoked, but you're not sure of a few questions you want to have answered because you're watching videos on YouTube and people are saying, don't move to Florida unless, or this or that, but then they don't give you the answers for it. So stay tuned. I'm here to give you the answers to 5 common questions that I get all the time that seem to be very, very misunderstood. Done videos like this in the past, but want to dive a little bit deeper into these things because we have so many people moving into the area. And oh, by the way, hey, my name's John Bice. I'm with eXp Real Estate, and I work with Ryan at the Florida for Boomers Network. Been with Ryan for about 10 years now. So as you can imagine, we've had a lot of people relocating here as baby boomers are retiring and want to come to Florida and live near the beach. So let's talk about these 5 things first. Property taxes. Whatever you see listed for property taxes on a resale home or a new construction home will not be your taxes. Let me repeat that. That will not be your taxes. Briefly, on new construction, let's say you sign a contract today for a new construction home and it's going to be finished in, let's say, January of next year. Okay. So that means every January properties are assessed here. So what you're going to see listed for property taxes is going to be on a vacant lot. It might say $700 for property taxes. So what will happen is we're in 2025 right now. If the home was finished in 2026, it's going to be assessed in January of 2026 once the home is completed. If it wasn't going to be complete until, let's say, March of 2026, you wouldn't be assessed until the following January, which would be 2027. Let's just go with January of 2026. It's completed. You are assessed. You'll get what we call a trim notice about property taxes that are going to tell you what your current property taxes are going to be. And it's going to go up because it's going to have a house sitting on that lot now. So that's what it's going to be assessed on, not just a vacant lot, but for the home that's sitting on there. So hopefully that answers some questions for you when you see these guys out there saying, my property taxes went up by $5,000. Well, no kidding, because they had assessed a vacant lot and you built a brand new home on it. I can tell you, and I always give the example, we've been in our current home since 2018. When we moved in here, our property taxes were $4,400 a year. They're now $4,700. And values have, I'm going to say, doubled since we purchased. So that's the way the property tax thing works. Now, we pay in arrears. So when you get that notice in November, if you pay it, you save, I think it's 4%, and it goes down each month, and you have until April, I believe it is, to pay it. Ours is with our mortgage, so it gets paid automatically. In November, we pay in arrears. So in November, we're paying for the current year that we're in. Now, if you buy in a community that has the CDD fee, which is a bond that develops all of the land where everything is being built, that's paid in advance. That goes from October 1st through September 30th. That's part of your property taxes. Okay. So you have to know those things about taxes. Second, insurance. You got to do that research before you purchase a house. You got to know. New construction homes, especially not in a flood zone, I get quotes all the time, 1,800, 2,000. Again, depending on the size of the home, the elevation of the home, there's several things. I am not an insurance agent, but you got to do the research. We're working on a transaction right now. It's a waterfront property. It's on the Manatee River with flood insurance and with our homeowner's insurance. It could be close to $9,000 a year. That's a lot. That's a lot to consider. So my homeowner's insurance, we are not in a flood zone. We're paying approximately 3,100 per year. We live on a lake. We have a pool. We've done a lot of the upgrades that you need to do, new windows, new sliders, new garage door, new roof. We've done all those things. So about 3,100 per year. But you got to do that research. If like the client that we're working with the buyers, you have to have a insurance addendum as part of the contract. You don't have to, but you should if your agent is representing you properly that says, hey, I'm willing to pay up to this amount for my homeowner's insurance. But if it exceeds this amount, hey, I want to be able to cancel this contract because I'm not going to be able to afford it. Okay. Again, not an insurance agent. You got a lot of things to look for first. How old's the roof? Did they have a wind mitigation report? What's the elevation of the house? Do they have a survey? Is their current policy assumable? All of those things you got to look into. Okay. Third, know the trends in the real estate market. Right now, probably a horrible time to be selling because there's so much inventory. Great for buyers, but buyers know there's no such thing as the perfect house. It doesn't exist. You're not going to walk into a house, a community, an area, and everything, it's like the yellow brick road and you just walked in and it's perfect. It doesn't exist. You're looking for those things that are as close to what is very important to you as possible. The size of the home, the community. Is it a gated community, 55 plus community? Is it a gated golfing community? Is it active adult? What are the HOA fees? All of those things. So you got to be looking at the bigger picture, not just the home. Look at the community as a whole. The amenities, if that's important to you. Do you want something that's amenity rich, tons of activities, or you don't really care about that? We don't have that in our area. We're in a country club area, but we don't have to belong to the country club. We're not gated. So those are all things that need to be explored as well. But know if you're in a buyer's market or a seller's market, because the buyers right now in our market, they're trying to look at 75 homes before they make a decision. And I'm exaggerating, of course, but I talk to people every single day. This is really nice. We really like this home, but we've got 12 others that we want to go see. So you got to really start narrowing the focus down. What is it that you're really, really looking for? What are those things that you're looking for? Okay. Number four, you got to research utilities and the cost of actually living here. I've never lived in another state, really. I mean, I lived in Nevada for 6 years, but most of my life I've been in Florida. So I can't give you a comparison as to what it costs to live in Massachusetts or Connecticut or anything like that, or New York, California. I can tell you we don't have city tax, state taxes, things like that. But look into things like what are your utility bills going to be? What are everything that goes with living in Florida? What are those HOA fees going to be? If you're living in a Del Webb, they could be $390 a month, somewhere around there. And if you're planning on being a snowbird, guess what? The 6 months of the year that you're not here, you're still paying those HOA fees. Okay, so that's really something to think about. It's amazing that 390, you get a gated community, 55 plus, amazing amenities. All your yard work is done for you. You never have to do a thing outside, but that comes with a price. Our HOA fees are 470 a year. But again, we live in a community that does not have community pool and all those extra things. So we pay for that separately. I pay a yard guy. I pay to go to the gym. I pay all the extra stuff. That's another thing to look into. And lastly, actually not lastly, because I'm going to throw a bonus in for you. We have every kind of outdoor creature you can imagine. And yes, if there is a body of water near your home, there will at some point be an alligator in it. Will you ever see that alligator? Maybe. If you're out by the lake, we don't really fish in the lakes. You can, but we don't really. We don't obviously swim in the lakes. They're to look at. Alligators are not going to come up and chase you in your backyard. I'm a Floridian. It doesn't happen unless you're doing something stupid where you have your chihuahua down walking along the lake. Then you might get chased by an alligator. So, yeah, we do have that. We have eagles. We have hawks. We have snakes. We have every insect that you've ever heard of. I have an amazing pest control company. I'm bug-ophobe. So I'm make sure that our house once a quarter is sprayed outside, and we never see anything on the inside of our house, but you have to understand we have that stuff, okay? You'll see in my neighborhood, there's rabbits running all around, raccoons, squirrels, deer, you'll see, possums. If you get out east far enough, there's wild pigs out there. So, gotta understand, moving to Florida, used to be a swamp. So, gotta know those things. And last, my bonus tidbit for you, we have this thing. It's called summertime. I know everybody talks about it, but we basically have 4 seasons in Florida. We have love bug season. If you don't know what that is, you need to explore it. We have snowbird, which I like to call slow bird season. We have hurricane season, and we have summer. So you got to know when those are, what those are, and be prepared. Again, I'm a Floridian. I love it hot. I love it. I work out in my garage. I open the garage door and work out there. Love it. But some people, I mean, they walk outside and they start dripping sweat and it's like horrendous. So, yes, we have probably at least 3 months, July, August, and September, where it's pretty brutal. It's in the 90s every single day. All right. But we have 6 months, November, December, January, February, March, and into April most of the time, where it is amazing, where nighttime you're in the 50s, during the day, 75-ish, just absolutely spectacular. But if you're not a fan of summer and you're going to live here year round, you got to be aware of those things. Hurricane season, yes, we have it. We've had some unusual activity. I've lived here again almost my whole entire life. First direct hit ever that I've lived through last year. Yeah, last year. So, yes, we have hurricane season. We stayed here, lost power for a couple of days. We have a generator. Boom, all good. Power comes back on, back to normal. Okay. You have to take all those things into consideration. If you're even thinking about being close to the water, flood insurance and homeowners insurance is going to skyrocket. That's just the way it is right now. Understanding property taxes, understanding the current real estate trends, buyer's market, seller's market. You can't be in both. So where are we right now? Massive amount of inventory. We're in a buyer's market right now. So understanding the cost, your power bill, your water bill, your association fees, all of those things go into your budget, but you want to know those things. Hopefully this helps. Try to keep it as short as possible. If I can answer any questions for you about the real estate market here in the greater Sarasota area, Lakewood Ranch, Parish, Venice, I'm here for you. Florida native, born and raised in St. Petersburg, so I can answer pretty much, I think, any question you got. All right, I look forward to hearing from you. I'd love to help you buy or sell a home here in the Sarasota area. I live in an area called Palm Air, if you want to know about that. Beautiful area, 3,500 homes, villas, and condominiums. And it's was developed in the 80s, so the lots are bigger. Of course, the homes are a little older, but you can find some amazingly updated homes here. So give me a call, 941-962-7443. Shoot me an email, text me, schedule an appointment. Love to help you find your home here in paradise. Thanks so much. God bless.